One of the popular arguments of Russian supporters is that Russia produces more tanks than the rest of the world combined. By the way, it looks a lot like someone orders bots or paid accounts to spread this statement everywhere. But anyways, in today's video I just want to show you that even though Russia produces a lot of military equipment, it does so at the expense of the people of Russia. It does so just to look strong and powerful, but at the same time it's falling apart. Literally. Let me show you an example. This is Russian Kurgan plant that produces BMP-2, BMP-3, Kurganets 25, BMP-4M and other military equipment. It looks okay, right? I mean, it's a little bit depressing, but it's pretty average for Russia. But it's only because we're looking at the facade. Every big Russian plant has two sides. One small part is its face, its front that Russian state media shows, where Russian officials go to make videos with them proudly observing the production of military equipment. And the other bigger part is the actual plant, the real part that is falling into pieces. Today you'll see it together with me on this short tour around this particular Russian military plant. All we need to do to see it is just travel on Google Maps a few hundred meters. As you can see, this building, which is also part of the plant, I suppose, already doesn't look that good. And this street view was taken in 2019, only 3 years ago. Anyway, let's go further. Okay, here we see a sports complex built for plants' families in the USSR. This is, by the way, one of the things that makes Russians nostalgic about the Soviet Union, because back then it all was in a good shape. Every big plant or factory had infrastructure for its workers, and Putin's Russia doesn't have anything to offer compared to what the Soviet Union provided for people. For example, just take a look at these buildings. They're obviously in very bad shape, and by the way, this image also was taken in 2019. Probably they started to crumble just recently, you might think. But if we make a turn into this street, we'll see how these same buildings looked 2 years before, in 2017. They are basically the same, just falling into pieces little by little, and no one is doing anything about it. Also, take a look at this playground. This whole thing, probably apart from buried tires, was built in the Soviet Union, and nothing has changed, it just got older. So maybe that's one of the reasons people in Russia support this invasion of Ukraine. They have this weird belief that by conquering Ukraine, they somehow will return the Soviet Union. It was a failed state, but at least it provided for people of Russia. I'm sure these buildings were built specifically for workers of the Kurgan plant. And right now the plant is just a shadow of what it was, even though Russia is pouring billions of dollars into facilities like this. Here's a review that was left by someone who actually worked there. By the way, it was published in 2022, already during the war. This is just a warehouse for retirees playing dominoes. No one and nothing works. The salary is meager. The head of workshop 320 is a jerk, tearing up all documents for signatures. The air is dirty, the water is contaminated with microorganisms, the filters are not replaced. So in the Soviet Union, people were proud of the Kurgan plant. Now they're running from it because of the low salary, harsh work environment, and nepotism. Okay, now let's gather more insights by going around this plant. By the way, here's the popular view you might encounter in Russia and sometimes in Ukraine as well. I don't know who came up with the idea to decorate the yard with tires, but it looks pretty depressing, right? Also, as you can see, there is a palm tree made of bottles. Well, at least people are trying to decorate their yard and do something. And this image, by the way, was taken in 2012, so I guess the tires are gone already, right? Nope, it's 2019 on this street view and tires are still in place. So the time in this city and in most places in Russia is basically frozen. That's why Putin talks about the past and the great Russian history so much. Because for the past few decades, all the future Russians saw was a decay of what they already have. And if we go further, we'll see this banner that congratulates people with the day of great victory, meaning the victory in World War II. Literally 10-20 meters ahead, there is also a similar banner congratulating people with 9th of May which is the Victory Day in Russia. Now you probably understand why Putin uses Great Patriotic War as the center of his propaganda machine. Because when you go outside in a city like that, you have nothing to be proud of. The old plant is falling apart, buildings look awful, many roads are in terrible shape, salaries are low, but the victory in World War II isn't going anywhere. It's there in the history. And Putin is reminding them of that huge victory, so they don't feel as bad when they see reality like this crumbling plant. And to finish this video, let's take a left turn and go a few hundred meters straight just to show you the essence of today's Russia. Okay, so here's the self-propelled guns called 2S3 Akatsiya and 2S1 Gvozdika. They look fresh and good, right? There is even some new pavement specifically for these monuments, I guess. But literally across the street we have this piece of civil infrastructure. It's a bus stop. It's most likely from the Soviet Union, completely neglected and left to decay. That's how little Russia actually cares about its people. And all because it just wants to look strong, to have lots of military equipment to threaten the world. This should be shown to everyone who stands for Russia and its ideals. Okay guys, in this video I wanted to show you more, but I decided to show you just this particular plant and to see your reaction. So if you like this video, please smash the like button and subscribe to this channel, and I'll show you more of this. Anyways, thanks for watching and I'll see you next time.